There are over 27,000 bits space junk orbiting Earth at about 15,700 miles per hour, each one of them catalogued and tracked by the Department of Defense's Global Space Surveillance Network, SSN, sensors. It's a growing problem, but what about the Moon? A rocket part left in space after a Chinese launch, ironically in preparation for launching a rover onto the lunar surface, will strike the Moon on March 4, 2022 at a speed of about 5,700 miles per hour. It will leave a crater. With plans to send humans back to the lunar surface as early as 2025, space junk researchers are turning their attentions to how we can protect the Moon by characterizing and tracking objects in cislunar space, the space between Earth and the Moon. The trouble is, missions to land on the Moon, such as NASA's Artemis 1, typically involve the launch of satellites and other payloads to orbit the Moon. That's exactly what happened in the case of the errant Chinese rocket part. Scientists are worried that the orbital space surrounding the Moon could quickly grow crowded and dangerous. That's partly because payloads launched into cislunar orbit are not monitored by a central international agency. $7.5 million in funding for the University of Arizona's Lunar and Planetary Laboratory, LPL, from the Air Force Research Laboratory's Space Vehicles Directorate. The task? Prevent the impending lunar traffic jam. Traffic congestion between Earth and the Moon doesn't exist yet. In fact, there are only a few dozen objects in the zone. However, they're harder to see because they're farther away than space junk around Earth, and they also often get lost in the Moon's glare. It's like tracking a firefly that's flying around a searchlight, said Vishnu Reddy, an associate professor in the College of Sciences Lunar and Planetary Laboratory. This team of researchers has worked with the Space Force and Air Force Research Laboratory before on spotting space junk in distant geostationary orbits, about 36,000 miles out, but this new cislunar project entails finding objects up to a whopping 437,700 miles distant between Earth and the Moon, The plan is to partner with moonbound missions from their inception to track all of their resulting, unavoidable junk, set up infrastructure to record and track everything.